Greetings, salutations. Hopefully everything's good with you and yours. Um, Good times, right? Like it's a lot of fun around the highest of seven hills when you're winning. It's more fun when you're winning. I'll leave it there. So right now, I, I can't speak for others, but I can speak for Keith. I want us to win, even if you're not feeling some of the current stuff. I'm cool with us walking to the Dog House, right? You already know what's up when it's already about to be. Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
What's up, FAMU? Good to see you as always. I was a little delayed. I had to streamer is like double thing going, so you can like watch your show in like the vertical alignment, or you can watch it in regular. And when you're trying to monitor it, you listen to both. So it's like, why am I delayed just a little bit? So what's up, little baby? Good to see you as always, man. Woof, it's been a good week, man. Was on Penalty Talk last night. We did the Monday night review, so it's been consistent. And then Tuesday, I stayed home and watched the basketball game. So I took the day off. Every once in a while, gotta give yourself a little rest. You can't just run yourself ragged. So see what they got. What they talking about on this run your pool stuff going on. Okay. Thought they had something for me to do. We're gonna look at that. For those who are so inclined, though, right? If you do watch or really listen to, like you can't really watch it, round one with St. Clair Moraine and myself, then you'll be able to really get a treat. We had Coach Gordon on the show today, and I enjoyed the conversation. Really candid, really honest. And yes, the football team is just walking into the Dog House. Rattler supporters support the Rattler boosters, but great conversation with St. Clair Moraine. What's up, Mary 305? And it was really good at just talking to Coach Gordon. Like one of my favorite things talking with her is just hearing her kind of talk about getting her girls in. And I appreciated the realism, right? Like just in talking to her, you can see where she was realistic about what the program is, honest with, the fact that we're not the best program in the SWAC right now. But it's largely built upon the non-conference teams that we're playing right now. So I'm hoping that we can uphold that word was kicking my behind last week, the standard, and really bounce back because I asked her about the pressure of this being that third year, and she didn't duck the smoke. She was like, I feel the smoke, but I embrace it. And I was cool with that. I'm frustrated with the non-conference losses, but then I was able to kind of look and see like we got a pretty good schedule this year. We play some really good teams. I still need to see some more things before I really get that hope about this team. But right now, I'm pretty cool with it, man. So, if you are so inclined, please drop a like, share, subscribe. We're approaching 400. That means we're about 150 away from that magic 500 number. So, just saying, man. And I speak for all the vets when I say we are grateful for the acknowledgement. Hey, man, if you did not catch it, she does send that out there, man. Enjoy Veterans Day, man. For those who did celebrate, I definitely have some that are special for me. We appreciate the sacrifice and the service because I don't get to sit up here and run my mouth without the sacrifice that others have made within our American military. So, definitely appreciate what you guys have done. Mentioning what others have done. We got a SWAC champion, right? Need y'all to support him and the track team. So if you are so inclined, definitely support FAMU's track team. Still racing the 10K. Look, I don't know if you saw the other squad. They hit their number. We need to hit ours too, man. So you are vitally needed. And we are, just asking for you to support any way possible. It can be $1, $10, even $1,000 or $10,000. Doesn't matter to me. Just give what you can, and it's all going to the Fang Exchange. Doesn't hit my hands. So not at all. What's up, Ash? Speaking of the Fang Exchange, right after our show, hey, go catch them over there. They're gonna be doing their thing. Good times, man. Appreciate y'all coming on Mondays, thinking of not robbery. I'm like Kelvin. I like having that coalition. Let's put that out there right now. I love the fact that we can get so many different people that talk FAMU sports, that are at the games and that are knowledgeable about the program, to come in one accord and just have fun. We run a little long as of late, but when you get over 3 people on the show, you're probably going to go over. But it's always fun, and I appreciate the fact that I always come away learning something, right? Like, I love the fact that we added the bits with the segment where we kind of look at film. Like, I enjoy that part, because for me, it's one thing to watch those shows, and I'm not gonna lie, all these aren't original ideas. Some of these you see here, you see there, and you're like, hey, let's kind of bring this and put a FAMU spin on it. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of stuff we do, I've stolen from across the train tracks. But wanted to put a FAMU spin on it. Like, you get a group of FAMUans and we talk about it, and we share our frustrations, but we also share what y'all are saying on our shows and other spaces. So it's a lot of fun, man. And as Ashley mentions I think it's one of the best shows out there. I think it rivals HBCU Nightly. It's largely because I think it's more FAMU focused. I think sometimes they're very good at what they do, but I don't think you get that person who knows about FAMU over there. Whereas I think in this case, hey, it's what you're coming for. And it's not knocking them. Like, they're really great at what they do. But I think we do a good job Monday nights here on the Fangs Up podcast channel, BCSN. I think you get something you don't get a lot of other places, and you get rationale, which I appreciate that. And I love how you got folks who are kind of like, like Uncle Steve was kind of like, hey, check it, a squad. We hold each other accountable. So I definitely saw a little social media spat between some of the folks, man. So it wasn't none of us, but I was like, but yeah, man. So, and look, share with the viewers what is Keith's professional aspirations, perhaps AP, college SWAC commissioner, assistant principal. Not gonna lie, I wanted to get my PhD in education leadership because my dream job is to go back to FAMU. I love to work at FAMU, and I would love to work in athletics in some regard, or be like president university, something like that. Like, I got a degree in education leadership, so I want to use it. So I've worked at Florida State University. I've done international recruiting. Of course, I would love to go back, man. So I miss FAMU. I ain't gonna lie. My wife knows. We've had an open conversation. If Mother FAMU ever came calling, and it's slightly more than I make, I ain't got to be a whole lot more. I would leave Orlando, the metropolitan area, to go to Tallahassee. I promise y'all in a heartbeat. I love FAMU. Like, yeah. So I would leave a wife, but I would definitely leave the city to go back home. There's no place like home, and there's no place like FAMU. Like that hill's just different, man. So, but yeah, I do have I sent my transcripts off to like Liberty for the PhD program. So, but I should start, but I'm just kind of, I don't know. Shouldn't go that way. It might lean political, but I I don't know if it's worth it. Um, but I would love to come back to FAMU. Michigan though, going to FAMU. Coach Bill got a signee, man, and that was huge, man. Another kid from Central Florida, Riverview. If you don't know, it's Tampa. It's not Tampa, but it is Tampa. So I kind of like what Coach Beal has done. I think there is a power to having a coach who knows what they're doing, and um, I don't like their pants. I'm sorry, just that's the dad in me. Like I don't know if I don't know if the material is thick enough. I'm just saying. Um, that's sorry, but I'm just saying, man. EA says, "No, nah, Tallahassee too slow. Born, raised, we can't do it." You know, I'm good, man. I'll be honest. There's nothing in Orlando that I do that I can't do in Tallahassee, and that's just for Keith. I can't speak for other people, but as far as outside of like my fraternity and stuff like that, there's not a lot that I do in my day-to-day life that I can't do in Tallahassee. Like, yeah, that's just Keith. But I love it. I love the signings. I love what Coach Beal's doing. She's got another softball camp coming up during the breaks. Like, we got to welcome her back on the show. Like, I kind of want. I may have to ask her offline. Like, how much revenue does that generate, and how do those camps help you build the program? We just saw they got some. Mr. Kinsey and the crew got some stuff set up. Mentioning Mr. Kinsey, man. Look, again, I try to stay to the center of everything, but he sent a very powerful message out there in regards to what he's seen. You know, we saw that video for the first 100 days of the Johnson administration, and man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm not in disagreement with him about not being transformed by what I've seen, right? But anyways, FAMU women's basketball, they hadn't won a game yet. They got a game against Sanford coming up. I'll be honest, I just looked at the schedule. And again, even after talking to Coach, I struggle to find a win before that Cookman game. Just the level of talent. Some of that may even be the being a little jaded after the Valdosta State game, where it's kind of like, how do you lose to a Division II team at home and get mollywopped? But I think if her plan can come to fruition, we'll see some things. And I think when you're really looking at it, the real goal is the SWAC. It's not anything outside of that. That's one of the goods and bads of where you are as a conference and as you are where you are as a team, is that you're not really trying to win as much as you're just trying to make the tournament. And if you make the tournament, that's good enough. I'm just saying, like, you're not terribly off. Like, I think in conference, there's some wins. Like, I definitely, I have the conversation with my dad all the time. Like, we'll talk about Colsey and, you know, kind of what's going on this season. I'm like, hey, just because it's frustrating, don't allow yourself to become jaded. And I'm paraphrasing. Like, we can't say you're going to lose every game because you're frustrated with the current outcome. And I think that for FAMU women's basketball, I think we see the writing on the wall, right? We know what this is. I think in the long run, a lot of what you're going to see from the Tiffany Dawn Sykes hires is a couple things. One, experience matters. Like, there's one thing that you can't replace, as my dad says, and that's experience. What's up, Saj? Yo. But I think the other part of that is success matters, right? Like, there's a certain piece within coaching that speaks to success. And it's, I think, one of the craziest parts of the Tiffany Dawn Sykes experience was in basketball, where on both sides of this, you got two different things coaching wise. On the women's basketball coaching side, you have a coach who didn't have a lot of head coach experience, but had a real powerful name within basketball circles. Whereas on the men's side, you had a very experienced coach who was more experienced at doing your job than you were, that came to FAMU and had immediate success, and who's now left FAMU to go somewhere else. And it's like, I think that's an interesting juxtaposition, right, between those two coaches, to see one who came in, it's kind of floundered, not like hasn't been able to flip the roster, hasn't been able to really until her contract year get to a space where she can completely flip the roster. Where on the other side, immediately, Crary flipped the roster. And then you look at Charlie Ward now, and that leads us right to the Charlie Ward game, UCF. And I saw the post game. He flipped that roster. I mean, it was flipped for him. But one of the things I did like that I saw, and I heard the same thing from Brian that I heard from Charlie Ward, the second half was different than the first half. And I saw that. I think once you get into conference play, I think you have a top 5 team in this conference on the men's side. I think for the women's side, thank God every team in the conference gets to the SWAC championship or SWAC tournament, because otherwise I don't know if you'd make it. Like, that's just me being candid. Like, I could be a liar or I could be honest. What's up, Uncle Steve? Appreciate you coming on as well, man. Again, if you're not catching the Monday night review, we're going to invite Uncle Steve again. So, just kind of be ready. Ash, Tiff, I don't know if Penalty Talk going to make it. I'm going to hit him up. If he can't make it, I'm wanting Troy on there. So, I got to watch with Troy, though. But I'm with you, Ash. On the men's side, honestly, I'm thinking 2 years. Man, the men's side of the SWAC is going to be kind of fun. Like, Cookman's got a team. I don't even want to give them that much credit. They got a good team, though. And I got to see when that first game is. Like, I hope it's not J5. I don't think it is. If it's J5, I ain't going. I ain't going to lie to you. It's my first J5? Like, where I can really enjoy it? Yeah, no. We're not going. J5 was straight last year. But last year was my first J5. But this year? Yeah. See, J5 was on a Sunday last year. Church, act right for the Lord. This year? Man. I ain't even showing to work that day. But I think FAMU men's basketball's got opportunity because, okay, is this right to say? I think you have a better team this year. Like, I think last year you had a good team, but I don't think you were balanced. Whereas this year, this team is more balanced than last year's team. Like, I'm less frustrated watching FAMU basketball this year than I was last year. And I really like Crary. Like, when I tell y'all I was a Crary stand, like, I'm just saying, what's up, Reggie? I agree with you right there. Like, I was a Crary stand. I was upset when he didn't get that new contract. I did not love our style of play, but I liked that he was more set on metrics. I kind of like Charlie Ward's style of play more than I do Crary's, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think one coach is like vastly better than the other from what I've seen. Hollow, you ain't missed much. But when I'm watching FAMU basketball this year, even the UCF game, I like our shot selection a little bit better when I watch Crary. I mean, Charlie Ward. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really am loving what I'm seeing Charlie Ward's teams. They're very balanced. We have more than one Rattler. Thank you. Like, I'm just saying. As you said, Shirley needs to score 15 to 18 points. He's our bell cow. Okay. And you got Cookman, Bama State, Jackson State, FAMU, Texas Southern, Grambling. Oh yeah. And man, look, shout out to Alabama State. Like, this is one of those times where, I'm gonna take. I left the orange and green shades in the car anyway. That team, they went up there to UAB and they ruined a lot of people's parlays. Like, that was solid. I was proud for them. Hurt for anybody who lost some coin, but happy for them. We do have more height. Thank you, Gail. So it's not just me. Like, I agree with you, and I think that's one of the benefits there, man. Sponsoring the men's basketball grab and go dinner, so I got to be there with my credit card, go pay, and I'm going to try to jump on. Okay, absolutely. And look, drop us the Cash App. So drop the Cash App in the chat so that folks can donate, man. Y'all know, for me, it's not about me, man. If y'all like, share, subscribe. If we can get to our monetization numbers, that'll take care of this. But, everything we're doing as far as any type of fundraising is we're going to do our best to do it for the kids. And I shouldn't say kids, but I'm literally old enough to be some of their dads, which is crazy. Like, I kind of look at it and I laugh, and I go through the stadium, and one of my favorite parts of going to games is seeing like Taylor. I love seeing Taylor Adams. I've known Taylor for, oh goodness, man, I've been down here about 9-10 years. So I've known of Taylor for about 8-9 years, but I've known Taylor for about 5 or 6. And I've known her dad for 30 plus. But I love just, I see my buddy and I say, hey, I get my church hug, man. I don't really mess with kids like that. But I see my girl Germani, and I love seeing these kids coming into journalism and doing their thing and just being able to just step back. And it's almost like being a proud uncle, because even I'm not a journalism major. I was a history major, but it's still seeing that connection and like, hey, I just love to see that, man. So it's just, those are the things that I love about this, is seeing the student and the student athletes, not just the student athletes, but the students grow and progress. And I was like, I see my boy on camera and I'm like, man, I remember 2-3 years ago, you was just a freshman, sophomore, kind of shooting your camera. Now you big senior now, dog. You doing some stuff, and hey, man, you can hype the kids up, man. I think that's part of the fun of doing this and being on the sidelines. So, but as much as y'all say what you want to about Craig, he might not watch the show, but he listening. We got another commitment at a key position, wide receiver, Jalen Lurie, 6 foot, 185. He's from Florida High, 2026 kid. One of the things most Florida High kids, they're going to come in with the grades. And we are steadily getting those commitments in. One of the ups and the downs of the transfer portal is that it's going to open up those windows for schools like FAMU to really be able to really get more of those high school talents. And I think that's the good and the bad of this right here, right? Is that you're going to very likely have potentially a pretty sizable recruiting class. But the question is going to be, will they be with the staff all 4 years? That's going to be an interesting thing to me. And shockingly, the men are a lot more balanced than I expected for the first year team. Look, that's what I was with you, Hollow, though. When it's talking about the basketball thing, I noticed that. Like, I've watched a couple games. The UCF one had more of my attention. I watched the Florida State, but I just got mad. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Luke Lautz, I ain't gonna take that away from him. He might actually be a good coach. Like, they almost beat the Gators the other night. Like, not trying to take things the other side of the train tracks, but Florida State almost beat the darn Gators, and I'd have been very happy about it. But we got another commitment. What's that? 2 in 2 weeks? And what I like that I'm seeing in recruiting is we're recruiting. Thank you. Nice size for a receiver. Is he huge? No. Is he a nice size? Yes. 6 foot, 185, not giant, but big enough. And you can tell he's been in the weight room. Y'all saw the picture. Local kid that helps with ticket sales. Like, I'm starting to see in recruiting some of the things I wanted Colsey to make happen. Um, I'll be honest, if it's me, this is just key. As much as I want to see us really build and rebuild and just establish a foundation with high school recruits, man, if I'm Colsey, I'm middle fingers to that. This is year 3 going into next year if I get to stay. And I need to win. Yeah, it's not the PC thing to say. It's not how you build a program. I'm going to the portal. I hate to be that guy. I think you try to establish the floor, but I'm just saying. Okay. I love our quarterback room. I expect almost all of them to leave. I've joked about RJ. I even joked last night. If you watched the show with Penalty Talk, and that was a joke. A joke with a little bit of truth, because we even showed the film, where he stared down the wrong receiver. Like, he definitely has receivers he likes, and he missed the open guy, but he didn't have a lot of time to think. So, but I want to see, like, what does that turn to? I will say this. I'd be very surprised if we don't see some staff turnover. Just maybe OCDC. Like, I'm just saying, and that's why I say go to the portal. It's not because I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's the thing you have to do. Like, and yes, we did. We got a 5'10" quarterback from Reigns. I got questions. I gotta see the film on that one. Is he able to be an athlete, or is he just a quarterback? Like, if that's a question. But yeah, we did get a quarterback commit from Reigns. Like I said, I fully expect everybody not named RJ Johnson to hit the transfer portal, especially if Colsey's back. I don't think a single one of them would be back, and I don't blame them. I said like this, I could easily see a kid like Jet going to Alabama State. Because if I'm Andrew Body, there's not a snowball's chance in Hades that I'm staying in Montgomery, Alabama. That's just me. I'm gonna keep that a spade. Like, I said that before the season started. I told y'all, I think after the UAB game, they started putting the feelers up there, and the first thing they were like, Free CU was talking about that. Like, they were like, top quarterbacks for Florida State to get in the portal, and Andrew Body's name came up. Now, I do not ever want to see Andrew Body play under Mike Norvell. I would hate it. I don't like that for him. Now, a school like a Georgia Tech, that might be some fun. Andrew Body, Atlanta. I don't know if Haynes Keen's a senior or not, but I'm just gonna leave that out there. You do that. You do it what you will, but that could be some fun. I'll say it like this, and this is, before we get into the FAMU Alabama A&M game, it's just speculation right now. I ain't got no facts on this. I don't know if he goes to a school like in Alabama, but how crazy would that be to get that kid to get that kind of opportunity? Like, granted, your boy's not tearing up in the NFL, but that would be fun. And you about to get the same opportunity that, your boy did. I'm just saying, that'd be fun. I don't think that happens, but I think somebody's gonna back the truck up. There's gonna be a good chance. It'd be really interesting to see if, like, a University of Houston, one of those schools. Again, this is pure opinion. Like, that, I haven't talked to anybody. I don't know Andrew Body like that. Like, I have no connections to Andrew Body outside of Fraternity Incorporated. Like, so that's just me, like, y'all, spitballing and speculating. But I would be very surprised if he doesn't get an offer that makes it very difficult for him to refuse. And let's be honest. I think, can we be real? I think when you're speaking of HBCU quarterbacks, it's gonna sound bad. I don't care. I think the poster child for you realizing an opportunity and then saying, "Hey, I got to go," is what happened to Richardson at North Carolina Central. Like, he went from being a potential NFL caliber quarterback to he gets hurt. Now he's a coach. Like, in the era of the transfer portal, you have to look at that kind of situation and say, win, lose, or draw, a school like FSU is paying Castellanos $1 million, and he looks like that. How much would they pay Andrew Body, and he can actually throw? I mean, look, you got to be real about that. If Castellanos, and we've seen him, can get $1 million, the only biggest difference is he's not quite as injury prone. What could an Andrew Body get when we've seen him put on some film? We've seen him single-handedly carry Texas Southern for as long as he did. We've seen him at Alabama State raise that level of play for that team to a team that you're like, yo, if not for the Turkey Day Classic, they're going to the playoffs. Like, that's one of the top 3 or 4 teams in Black college football. And easily, I could make an argument for them being one of the top 25 football teams in the FCS. Like, I'm just saying, man. That's gonna be interesting. What is FAMU doing about quarterback next year? Bringing back RJ. Man, before we get this Alabama A&M game, hello, I'm gonna give up on some of that, man. Like, I'm not. You got to show me you want better, and I don't think you want better if you're rolling RJ out there. And I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback, because the stats say he's one of the statistical leaders as far as some of his numbers, not throwing interceptions, all that. It just doesn't translate to wins against good teams. I mean, I'll say that. Like, what somebody said, empty calories. I feel like we got a lot of empty calories there. But that's fine. You still gonna get fat. But are you going to be fat and happy? And I don't see us being fat and happy. I think you're going to roll him back out there with the known challenges that he has. And you're just going to accept it. And I'm just set to the place where you got to show me something. You got to show me something different. And yeah. And Hollow, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But I think D-line wise, some of that scheme, some of that's personnel. Like, losing Westmoreland for the season was huge. He's probably not coming back. That was huge. I think the O-line, I think you schemed it up at times where you got to get rid of the ball faster. Like, you don't really have that kind of time to do some of that. Some of that, maybe the play calls take too long. But I just know if it's me, I change that up. I switch that up. What about the young man from Raines at Jacksonville? If he stays with this commitment, could he be a game changer next year? I don't know. I think if he can learn the offense, I think. But okay, this is where I have to kind of, I open you up to my protection, and just, for me, when it comes to FAMU quarterback, I agree with a lot of y'all. Jet through picks. He also played the toughest teams on our schedule and threw picks. And then when he went against weaker competition, you pulled him out early. So I see him as more decisive. I think he throws a more catchable ball, and I think he's on time, and he makes the receivers run their effing routes. I think with RJ, he protects the ball, and I've compared him to a young Rashawn McKay, where it was like, give him time, he'll grow into the position. But the problem is you don't have that time. And so for me, when I'm looking at the film and when I watch it, I see one quarterback that's decisive, that makes decisions, that he knows a lot of the offense, but he might not know all of it. And I have another quarterback who's not as decisive, takes more time to process, but he's going to be more careful with the ball. And so for me, my protectionist mindset says, if I would no risk it, no biscuit, I would take the opportunity to push the ball downfield, get the ball to the players in space, make things happen over probably being a little more conservative. But when I'm looking at two quarterbacks, I really agree a lot with what Scotty said today. And I've been there for the whole season, that I feel like a different quarterback gives you better options. But I feel like allowing RJ to grow into what he's going to be is beneficial if you're playing a 4 to 5 year game. But me, is if I were to put on my cozy hat, I don't have a 5-year game. I got 2 years. And so I can't play like I got my biddies that already hatched. Those are eggs. And so for me, my protectionist mindset says, if you're going to keep rolling him out there, I'm going to keep low expectations. I think he's going to give you enough points. I think you're going to keep scheming it up for him and, scheming him up for success. But I can't, with a clear conscience, say that you are consistently putting the team in the best position to succeed, especially when you as a coach say it yourself that you're not doing it. So I can't get upset and I can't get mad when what you're showing me is that you're going to roll with what you hitch your wagon to the horse that brought you, and come hell or high water, that's what you're going to do. That's cool. But that don't mean I got to all of a sudden have fake expectations. I don't. I have the realistic expectations that RJ's going to protect the ball. He's not going to throw a lot of picks, but he's not going to make a lot of dynamic plays. And as the season goes on, we're going to see more of those dynamic plays, but it's coming through attrition, and that's frustrating. And for me, you're going through a time of attrition when you don't have to. So as long as we're going to go through this time of attrition, I'm going to mentally, at the quarterback position, lower my enthusiasm and lower my expectations to meet where we are at. So that's just me. Because, yeah, he threw picks against North Carolina Central, but I think if you put RJ back there, he does the same thing. I don't think it was an equal playing field. But the results are results. So I can't argue with the results. And I can't argue with, hey, you got what you want. My guy's been solid, though. Roll with your guy. That's your guy. That's your guy. I don't dislike the kid. It ain't personal. It's just me. So that's just me, though. Here's the question that needs to be asked. How will FAMU be able to retain their talent and be able to keep their recruits committed for the next season and not lose those players? I think the players that are committed. I think the other part is what you're talking about, is keeping the ones on roster. I think the saving grace for this is, especially with a Jet, he has bad film. Like, his film at FAMU is not good. I think for Jefferson, I don't think his film's great. I think he's a better fit for a different offense. And I don't even think you're really able to call plays that fit his skill set right now. I think both players would be better suited at other schools. And I welcome them to hit the transfer portal. I will celebrate their success because I don't think they're going to be successful at FAMU. And that's me. And that's me kind of letting you inside of Keith's own head. But I have no expectations from quarterback position. And I don't expect improvement because when I look, I see where you look to the left and less to the right. But I can look at one quarterback and say, yo, he's got some chops. And I look at the one you're starting, and I was like, he's got potential to get you killed or fired. And so if you're going to roll potential, I'm cool with that. But that means I just got to be real realistic and real rational about this whole situation. And going into next season, I cannot, if you're going to roll the same product out there, do this show and tell y'all I expect us to win 8 or 9 wins like I did at the beginning of the season. I can't. I expected us to lose to Jackson State. I expected us to lose to North Carolina Central. And I expected to lose to FAU. I expected 3. That 4th loss was not on my bingo card. And the second I saw that, that was concerning. That was a red flag. And so I can't, in good conscience, next year, look at that schedule and what we potentially have and tell you this team is going to win 7 wins next year. I can't. I think if RJ grows and develops and he grows into that potential that coach sees, I think he can be dangerous. But if he stays what I have seen, I think you got a year of film on him. I think your OC probably leaves. I think one of your defensive coordinators probably leaves too. Like, that's just me. Did he? Go back. Musa wasn't fleet of foot, but don't get it twisted. Musa was not actually a pocket passer. Musa just knew Junior Murtaugh was behind him. Like, we're going to call a spade a spade. And I love Junior. Y'all know I'm a big Junior fan. He knew what was behind him. He knew that other year McKay was gone. So what he had behind him? Like, once he kind of had a little more confidence in the backup behind himself, and Musa was just like, man, F it, I'm going to run it. He didn't just stay in the pocket. Ryan Stanley didn't just stay in the pocket. McKay was a willing runner. He just didn't stay in the pocket, though. Like, I can't say that they were pocket passers. They weren't run first. You wasn't running no option Willie Simmons. But that's just me. Like, I expect every team we barely won against this year to flip the L's next year. And the teams we lost to this year, I expect those losses to only get worse. Yeah. And that's where I'm at. When you're barely winning, even against bottom feeders, I don't have high expectations. And I think you should win. But can you depend on Southern being an abject disaster for another year? Can you depend on Valley being Valley and when they're actually acquiring talent? Can you depend on Alcorn when you're going there to not be that great and to really kind of just let you walk away with it? Like, that's where some of my questions start coming in. Like, are you going to be able to be that same team next year that you were this year that can just out-talent teams? I don't know you can't. So, mentioning out-talent. FAMU's got Alabama A&M this week. I do think it's a talent game. Like, I think if it comes down to X and O's, look, if it comes to an X and O situation, it's Alabama A&M. And this is just me. I don't believe in playing devil's advocate. If I'm Alabama A&M, I defer. Oh, you got to show me one that you can score. But two, going to half, you got to show me you can coach. Like, because again, against last week we saw first half burning timeouts. Like, and Colsey even said, hey man, sometimes I don't want to use the timeouts, but this. He's not wrong. The problem's just not getting fixed. So I think FAMU has more talent than Alabama A&M. Like, if I'm being honest. I don't know what the weather's going to look like. I think it's going to be fair enough for you to be able to hold your own. But if we're being honest about what this team is, I have questions going into this game, but like he's okay with being okay. Ooh, that's a tough statement. I feel like he wants to win, but I don't feel like we have a killer instinct. Like I don't see that dog. Let's see a lot of meh. Like I think he can coach him up on the chalkboard. And I don't know if he's like a chalkboard champion, but I'll be honest. If I was ever gonna do celebrity coaches, I do like a Jameis Winston type guy. Like I don't want somebody like that. Like he's gonna be entertaining. He's gonna know his stuff. Like he's gonna be passionate. And only problem with that is can he actually coach worth a darn? Like that would be a question. And can he not be goofy? But I don't see that out of a lot of our guys right now, right? Like I agree. And I'll be honest, if I'm the AD, whoever it is, whether it's the noob or the Delta, whoever, man, the conversation we have in the off season is, hey man, you got to stop. Like, just bring talent. Like, let somebody else coach. Like, bring the talent. You ain't got to be the offensive coordinator. Don't get involved with the defense. Just bring talent. And I think this was my consideration. I remember when I had Cozy on, I was like, are you like a Nick Saban? I wanted to be more like Nick Saban. Like, Nick Saban, he had defensive coordinator. He had offensive coordinator. He was clearly one of the guys that was like calling plays, right? But on the defensive side, he focused on secondary. That was his thing. He was head coach and he was a primary secondary coach. That's what I want from Cozy. Like, if he's going to stay, I want him to be the head coach and focus on secondary. Let the defensive coordinator call defense. Because you're not wrong. Like, we need a recruiter. Like, you can get talent. And you're not wrong. But we're not coaching it worth a cuss. Like, and we keep hearing about guys being in the wrong place, guys missing tackles, stuff like that. Okay, but how many weeks is that going to happen? You know, and how many times are we going to miss on talent evaluation, right? Like, I mean, you had 2 years in a row where we're talking about missing on talent and how you're continuing to play some of the guys that are missing out because maybe the next man up ain't ready yet. So when I'm looking at this, I think FAMU wins this game. I think it's tight. Would I be surprised if FAMU loses? No, not at all. I can't lie to you about that one. I can't foresee FAMU just blowing them out. But that's just me, man. Like, and VM says, that's it, sir. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Stick with the DBs, recruit better. That's me. Like, I know what I'm good at. Like, I'm really good at history. As a teacher, I'm good at history. I get the content. It's quick. It's fast. I'm not good at civics. Like, it's just sometimes the politics of the time bothers me. Like, you know, I haven't really had that time to really get comfortable with the content. I mean, I could teach U.S. history cold. Like 8th grade U.S. history all day long. You could throw me in 6th grade world history tomorrow. I don't like teaching 6th grade, but the content, got it. I think that's what you got from Colsey. Like, I think as a head coach, he's solid to get in front and talk to people because he's personable. I think as a recruiter, he's actually pretty solid. But something happens when we get on the field, and I don't know if it's just too many hats, too much going on. Like, that's a lot. Like, I'll be honest, even the other night, y'all caught it on the Monday Night Review. I forgot to run the outro because I'm just so used to how I do it on this show with Fangs Up. I got it where it's already preset. I'd be nervous to hit it on and just have it preset on there because I'm like, I don't want to actually hit it and end it, and then I got to restart the stream and I got to do all this extra work. Whereas for MySpace, my stuff is set. It's set for the stupid. And I think there's a certain place where maybe Coach Colsey's doing too much. Maybe he needs to go back to where he's comfortable. Be the DC. Leave that to somebody else. But focus on the secondary because they need you. They look horrible at times this year. And I think you coach the secondary, you take that over. You also save money. That's not that all of a sudden you're not paying a DB coach. You might have somebody that kind of helps and have a GA that helps, but you focus on secondary. Let the defensive coordinator coordinate the defense. And when y'all are having your meetings, you override him because you're the head coach. But in game, it's on the DC. And you're really just kind of checking to see like where things are. Okay, why are we doing this? Hey, why are we running that? This is what I'm seeing. What do you see up in the booth? Okay. Like, all right. You know, you're delegating responsibilities. I think one of the things that great leaders have an ability to do is delegate. And I don't know if either of our last two coaches were great at delegating. Like, go back to Willie's time at FAMU. We were at our best. We had our best season, honestly, in my opinion, when KJ was there. But that last year we won a Celebration Bowl. Like, I think when you had a KJ Black there and, you know, Willie was there and Willie was calling the plays, but KJ was kind of also calling plays, I think that made an impact. But I'm just saying, like, and maybe even focus on the fundamentals. Like that, I'm with you there. Like, talent evaluation or big issue talent development. Are the players getting better? And are we utilizing the mechanisms to get better? Like, we keep talking about tackling being better. I still haven't seen the little tackling donuts yet. Like, and I don't know if we have them, but they literally have tackling donuts. And I'm not blowing smoke up your keister. And we're about to get up here real quick. Do we have these? Like, do we have these so that the players can do that? Like, and if we don't have them, have we called the boosters to do that? Like, because that's what they're doing in other places. Like, some of that to me goes back to, are we sharpening our irons in the off season, right? Iron sharpens iron. Are we doing things to become better coaches in the off season from the top down? I've seen where assistants are doing it under this administration, but from the top down, are we doing things and going places to get better? I think it's a great conversation, but like I said the other day, Mr. Figures, I don't know if you can. If Colsey wins out, how do you justify it? Like, I get it. Anybody who wants to say, "Hey, man, this ain't," I'll hear it. But yeah, that's a little convoluted task when you're talking about APR and everything else like that, man. Exactly. Like, because our players can lift weights, they're strong, but are they practicing technique? Like, a lot of times you see in the videos and stuff, they doing tackling on each other. that can't be good. Like, that's not it. I didn't see them getting better next year. I don't either. Like, that's just me. So for this game though, I got FAMU winning. I don't have my previous score that I had earlier. For this one, I had 35-20. I don't think it deviates very far from that though, because neither team is good though. I think I said 35 to like 28 or 31, something like that. Neither defense is having a good season, like at all. Like, what if we lose Saturday? I think he stays. They're not a rival like that. I think for the outcome that some of you all are wanting to have happen, you'd have to lose out. Or Classic plus another game. Like, yeah. And you're not wrong with this game. I don't even know. And I guess my feelings might be the reason I feel we're not second tier. I feel like we're a third tier team, but I also feel like there are 4 teams tiers in this conference. And I feel like we're just above the bottom. And I hate being there. I was Let's Move On train a few weeks ago, but after the host showed that APR data, I said, let them play it out. That's where I'm at. Like, for me, if the APR is going to be where it is, I can't fire somebody. Like, ride that out and let the new person come in. And again, I told y'all, the Mighty Quinn, boy, you give it one more year. It's going to be some fun. All right, let's get to these picks. I got FAMU winning the game. I ain't going to pick it, though. What I will do is give me Alabama State over Valley. Confidence points, too. I think Angel Body's back. Even if he's not, though. They just got more talent. Give me Jack State over BC Who. I hope I'm wrong. Give me Delaware State over Howard, because y'all know how I feel about Howard. They are overrated. I was going to say they suck. But I don't think they're a good team. I'm going to avoid that one. Give me Texas Southern over Southern. Southern's horrible. Prairie View versus UAPV. I might live to regret that one. Dang it. Is there anyone? Okay. Those are my 5s. I don't know enough about Monmouth. I don't trust NC State. I mean A&T. And Norfolk versus Morgan. Honestly, I think Norfolk's better than Morgan. Like, I could be wrong. Yeah. Look, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm looking at. That Norfolk Morgan game, I think Michael Vick might have found his quarterback. That's the thing. And Morgan State's not spectacular. Like, they're a very underwhelming team. Oh, okay. I might live to regret this. Give me Norfolk. Now, if we had to go for this one up here, I'm going South Carolina State over Central. That team is taking on the personality of their coach and in all of his Omega ways. Give me Norfolk State over Morgan. I don't know enough about A&T versus Monmouth. And it's more so Monmouth that I don't know about over A&T. Like, I just being honest. I don't think they're that great of a team, but they could completely be surprising me. So they're 8-2. Yeah, let me come on over here. Let me get that Monmouth by 40. Yeah, Monmouth by 40. They are 8-2, and I don't know how much B they are applying to the A, but when I'm looking over here, they dropping 40, 35, 50, 49, 42. Yeah. Give me them. And they're just coming off a loss. Ooh. Yeah, if I had to put a little coin on that one. Let me see. Did I put my confidence points on Bama State? I did, but yeah. Give me Monmouth big. Give me Delaware State. even though I think Howard could get the upset. Like, if Howard wins this game, as much as I like rag on them for not being good, I wouldn't be surprised if they could actually get an upset there. William and Mary. The Tribe normally has a good team. Let me see. William and Mary. Let's see what the football team talking about, because that might change my decision, because I don't value Hampton as a good team either. They are kind of the bottom feeders in that conference. William and Mary is 6-4. They're averaging about 28 points per game, and they went to overtime with Campbell. I'm gonna avoid that game like the plague. Give me Jack State over Cookman. I haven't seen enough of Hampton. Like, Hampton gave me hope that first football game against Jackson State, and I think I doubled down on them one time, and them busters let me down. So ever since then, man, I've avoided them, and the only time I talk to them is when I talk to people who went to Hampton. Coach Hayes, shout out. They're 2-8. They suck. Yeah, Hampton is raw, unsaturated butt cheeks. Good, googly moogly. Texas Southern or Southern? Southern's just terrible. Dang it. All right, Delaware State. I have this little faith in Hampton. FAMU, I got them over there. I don't know about Tennessee State. I'm gonna pick Tennessee State, just sight unseen, just because I think Barlow's doing something over there. I would definitely. I ain't gonna lie. Man, look, credit card info on them tabs. Nah, I don't know. I don't use this computer on the credit cards. Yeah, I don't use credit cards on the computer. PV over Pine Bluff, but I wouldn't be surprised if an upset happened there. Like, I don't have full confidence in PV. Grambling over Alcorn, but that fight situation scares me. And then total points for that one. Valley, ooh, give me 67. So one time for the kids, give me 6-7. And there we go. So picks are Monmouth, William and Mary, Jackson State, Texas Southern, and Alabama State. So those are my picks right there, man. Thought you were going to go to a totally different direction concerning the task. Hey, man, you don't use that for this computer either, man. That's why I got a wife. Keep bothering her. Oh, goodness. I'm wearing her down like Steve Urkel. All right, y'all. Those are our picks for today, man. I got FAMU winning. Last week, we went 5-0 on the picks. So if you want to pick with us, you can. If you don't, that's also fine. All of them won on the Hard Rock. So, it is what it is. And we'll be stumping in with the Alabama A&M Bulldogs in a minute. So, look, we will catch y'all Sunday right here on the show. And, we got to see if we got a new guy on or not, man. So, you already know we're going to catch y'all. Head on over to the Fang Exchange. Yeah, I'm a little bit over, but I'm a little bit ready. So, if you are in town for the Florida Classic, $10. Come over by the Newt tailgate. I promise you it's going to be a good time to be had by all. All right, y'all. You already know what's up, what it's always going to be. Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it?